Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. You know, although Sonny Skidmore of KLID, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, winces when I say it, this is USAPrepares.com. And we broadcast 2 hours from the Missouri Ozark Mountains. John is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. I'm Vincent Finelli. And if you'd like to call in, I've got the call screen right in front of me, and we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. And last night I was listening to the broadcast and for QA, quality assurance, and I listened to the same line that you would listen to, 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. It's a great way to take USA Prepares with you if you're traveling. I'm delighted to be broadcasting today with Stephen Heuer. And you've heard his commercials right here on USA Prepares and on the networks. OneWorldWay.com, OneWorldWHEY.com. And I'll be giving you his phone number in just a couple minutes. Welcome, Stephen Heuer.
Thank you, Vincent. You're always so smooth and mellow and lighthearted. It's a pleasure to hear you broadcast.
Lighthearted, Stephen. Lately, I've been frosted about so many things that are going wrong with this country. And I'll tell you what, these are, maybe this is a segue into what we're going to talk about today. You know, things are stressful on many levels. I mean, the sky, the chemicals in the sky, the chemtrail flu, the assault on our freedoms. I was watching a video last night on the internet, and this guy, you know, there's a dash cam, and this police car is accelerating way faster than would be safe, and you hear the roaring engine of this very powerful police car, something that most of us probably would not be able to afford the fuel for. And so these municipal vehicles fly down the road recklessly in too many cases. And the police car pulls up behind this pickup truck, lights and sirens. Guy pulls over in a safe spot in a parking lot. And the two cops get out, guns drawn. And they demand to see, and this is a white guy. White cops, white guy. So it's not just blacks. And they demand to see this man's hands. He's a young guy. He's maybe 20. They demand to see his hands. He's in his truck. He's got his hand out the window. Let me see your other hand. And they're screaming at him. Finally, he gets out of the car, starts walking, maybe turns around, walks away. The police demand that he gets on the ground, and so he faces them. And they say, "Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand." So the cop shoots him right then and there.
Wow!
And so what was a traffic stop became an execution.
Wow!
And then the guy's on the ground. Okay, he just got shot in the chest. And then the cop is saying, "Let me see your hands." And he just got shot. Just got shot. So let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. And the guy's like in pain, can't really show his hands. I mean, his hands are there, but he doesn't perform according to what the cop wants. So what does the cop do? Shoots him again. Wow. And then the cop, now he got shot twice in the chest. I believe twice in the chest. And then the cop is demanding to see his hands. So what does he do? Well, shoots him again. And then what does he do? He shoots him again. Shoots him 4 times. And then you can see what's really happening. It's not 1 cop. It's not 2 cops. It's not 3 cops. Looks like it's 4 cops. 4 cops. All their guns are drawn. And what is this? It's a traffic stop.
Wow.
And what is a traffic stop? Is it headlights, taillights, loud muffler? I mean, people are now getting killed for these kinds of things. So what I'm saying, Stephen, is these are the signs of the times. And who the heck wants to go out now? I mean, I certainly don't. As a matter of fact, I'm going today. I'm going to arrive in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, at the Von Braun Center for the RK Prepper Show. I'm going to be giving 2 presentations tomorrow and Sunday about starting your own business and saving an enormous amount of money, part 1 and 2. And if anyone's unhappy with what I say, please ask for your money back. But I guarantee the kinds of things that I'm going to be talking about, you're not going to hear anyplace else. So if you'd like to live the way I do, you'll learn how to do it in 3 hours. But what I'm saying is the threats are all around us. Cell phone transmissions. If you're in a bus, okay, or if you're in a subway car, or even a school bus, you're in this microwave oven, and all the students have their cell phones, and they're texting, and they're talking, and why? Because their parents want them to be safe. So now you've got this metal box with, let's say, 30, 45 students in there, bus driver, texting away, and they're cooking themselves with these microwaves from these cell phones. So if the point of all what I'm trying to say is the stresses, and then forget about work. I mean, that's just another stress, right? And then getting to work in traffic, and then the exhaust fumes and the noise and the horns and the sirens and all that, just trying to get to work, and then the gridlock. You got to be healthier. You're just not going to make it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah.
I just heard I just read a line that the Apple company says as a warning for their cell phones they sell people that they should not be on your body. And so many people walk around with those things on their bodies and don't realize they're being microwaved in the area that the cell phone is resting on their body, and how damaging that is to the body. So, yeah, it's something people are just not aware of. They accept these cell phones as just normal part of their lives, and they're being microwaved all the time, and cumulative damage of that, if it's held to the ear, is brain cancer because of the damage done to the brain. At some point, the brain can't keep up with repair, and you've got a likelihood of a tumor forming.
And what does that mean if you have a tumor? That means drilling a hole in your head, right? Or radiation. But just think
microwaves. Microwaves have hit that area of the brain long enough that the cells become damaged and unable to use oxygen. And when a cell can't use oxygen, it converts over to making energy without oxygen, and that's a tumor cell.
Stephen Heuer, I have right in my hands right now. This is a heavy aluminum, milled aluminum can. It's like the size of an old cigar can, and you can put your cell phone in this thing. This is a precision piece of gear that is made to keep the electromagnetic radiation from your cell phone from getting out. And excellent. What I'm saying is, you would put if you wanted to travel without you being tracked by a cell phone, you would put your cell phone in this. It weighs about 1 pound. Now, it has to be this this thick to be like a Faraday cage to prevent the electromagnetic radiation from getting out. When you think about that,
what's the name of that device? Because a lot of people might want to get one.
It's, let's see, I will have that in just a minute. But the reason I have this in my hand, I don't carry a cell phone with me, but I just might be traveling with someone who does today, and I don't want to be tracked, and I don't want that darn cell phone in my car, okay, or my truck. So right. I'm going to say, I got something for you to see. Take a look at this. This is going to keep us safe. Put your cell phone in here or you're not going.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that those existed. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Have you ever watched a television series called Lie to Me?
No, because I don't watch TV.
Okay, well, that's good that you don't. But, I was convalescing after some surgery, and as a result of the chemtrail flu, I just coughed myself until I split my gut, literally, and they had to sew me back together. And right now, I'm still super glued together. But, well, I watched this TV series. It's called Lie to Me, and the main character's name is Cal, as in California, Lightman, Lightman, and his specialty and his team's specialty is detecting lies. And so his company is for hire, and its witnesses. Are the witnesses lying? Are the CEOs lying? Are the corporate directors lying, and so forth? And when he can tell when somebody's lying by their facial expressions, by their body movement, by just body language and so forth.
Yeah. And
when he sees someone lying, and he's talking to him, he may meet them for the first time, and he detects a lie. Says, "That's a lie." I mean, right out of his mouth, that comes out.
Right.
I have developed that personality trait lately.
Good.
And well, here's the point. When somebody lies to me, they have removed themselves from my trust right then and there on the spot. I no longer trust that person.
Right.
And lately, Stephen, I've done something else, and that is, I've said to my family, there's no second chances. When someone takes advantage of us, when somebody sneaky takes advantage of us, that won't happen again. I'm not going to allow a second chance. I'm not going to say, well, maybe they made a mistake. No. If I believe it was deliberate, I'm done. I'm done with that transaction. I'm done with that person. I don't want to do business with them. I don't want to go in their store. I'm not interested in interaction in any way, shape, or form. And I think that is as a result of me looking at the world, flat on my back as I've been repairing my body as a result of the chemtrail flu. And the reason I'm sharing these stories is because we've allowed it to go too far. We need to be healthy, and we need to not take it anymore. That's the point I'm trying to make, Stephen. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, one of the things that enables humans to resist tyranny is being physically strong enough to have the fortitude to resist.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. Stephen Heuer, he's the CEO of Synergistic Nutrition. He's a degreed Nutripath, 25 years experience, and we're going to talk about EFA. Stephen Heuer, we'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using a computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Class, Stephen Heuer's with us, and Stephen, you asked me about this case, and it's called a privacy case. So I just posted on the website a link on page 1 to the cell phone privacy case. So if you want to see what we're talking about, there it is, page 1 of usaprepares.com. Stephen, you're EFA. Please tell us what it is and why it's so important.
So EFA stands for essential fatty acids, and because the essential is the first word, that means that indeed it's something that you have to obtain from the diet. There's a lot of different fats that your body will make. Your body will make arachidonic acid. It'll make EPA, DHA. It'll make cholesterol. It'll make myristic and oleic and all the different fatty acids that there are. Your body will make them all, but it has to first start by having in the diet omega-3 and omega-6. And this is a very important subject because agriculture took a detour from an unhealthy way of raising animals back in the 1950s to an unhealthy way of raising animals. So before the 1950s, you could say that the majority of agriculture was still grass-based. Animals were grazing for the majority of their diet, and the grass would provide into the meat of the animal, the flesh of the animal, or the milk of the animal, or the eggs of the animal, enough omega-3 and omega-6 naturally occurring in the grass that you have a healthy 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in the meats, the eggs, the milks, all that. And now, since from way back then till now, predominantly grain-based, even genetically modified grains, and agricultural waste as a part of the food supply of an animal. Agricultural waste being, when you take beets and harvest them and you convert that into juice, or you have the pulp left over. So there's beet pulp as an agricultural waste fed to animals, or bakery wastes, or the citrus industry where they juice oranges and there's the peel left over. They'll feed the citrus peel to cows and call it citrus peel cake. So there's a lot of different things that are fed to animals just to get them a carbohydrate source that isn't actually got any nutrients in it, so they end up being unhealthy animals and unhealthy meat. So people are deficient in omega-3 and omega-6, and when you talk about the seed oil version of omega-3 and omega-6, people are typically consuming the expeller-pressed and cold-pressed seed oils that are on the market. So the expeller-pressed is the commercial crummy stuff like Wesson oil derived from soybeans or corn oil and various blends of seed oils. These oils are pressed at very high temperatures, up to 210 degrees. They're hexane gas chemicals used to extract the maximum amount, like 99% of the oils out of the seeds, so you end up with a oil that's oxidized, which is to say rancid, and they have to bleach it, deodorize it, put it through all these chemical steps so that it becomes palatable, so that the smell is pleasant, so that the taste is neutral. There's no more antioxidants in that oil. So if you consume an oil like that, which is commonly used, I mean, in the health food industry, you see canola oil as a principal ingredient in, I mean, everything from bread to your ice creams to your condiments. It's just rampant, and it's a total oxidized, unhealthy oil, and yet people accept it as a healthy oil. You consume that oil, because it's damaged structurally and it's already oxidized, it'll become a part of your cell wall and make it so your cells don't work. And the main reason for an essential fatty acid to come into the body is supposed to be to become a part of the cell wall so that cell can both attract and absorb oxygen. So when you go back to Otto Warburg and you understand what's going on there, where this man was the guy that first identified how cells breathe, and he won the Nobel Prize for that in the 1930s, he also discovered how cells become tumor cells. He could lower the oxygen levels in a laboratory environment where there's cell culture going on. He lowers the oxygen levels by 35%, and once he lowered the oxygen levels for 15 minutes or more, that cell would convert over to being a cell that makes energy without oxygen, and it would become a tumor cell. And once it became a tumor cell, it couldn't convert back to a normal cell. So he identified that oxygen deficiency was the primary cause of why tumor cells develop. Now, there's many reasons why that might happen. You might have it because you have insufficient essential fatty acids in your diet to enable your cells to be able to absorb oxygen, which is the most common one. Or you may have a very acidic body and a low oxygen level from an acidic body. Or you may have a toxic body because of the drugs you've taken or the electromagnetic pollution from your cell towers or smart meters or whatever that's damaging cells and making them so that they become unable to use oxygen just structurally because they're damaged. So there's various reasons by which the cell becomes compromised.
Stephen, you said so many things so quickly, and I remember in elementary school learning that the percentage of oxygen in our atmosphere was 21%. Now I'm hearing numbers like 17% all the way down to 11% in cities. Sounds like it's a great way to get cancer. When we come back, let's continue. Stephen Heuer, Synergy.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851, 800-823-3851, 800-823-3851. Danger dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Class, you're going to be hearing a lot more from Stephen Heuer, sgn80.com, sgn80.com. And Stephen has a lot of information to share with us. And he's the CEO of Synergistic Nutrition. I know Stephen Heuer. I've met him. We've spent time together. He's come to the Get Prepared Expo in person. With his team from years ago. We've known him for years, and you'll hear more from Stephen Heuer right here on this broadcast. He's got a lot of information, and please share this with friends and family. Stephen, you mentioned canola oil. We've been told that canola oil, that's the one that's really good for us in television advertisements of decades ago. But then there's corn oil, vegetable oil, and olive oil. Which do we avoid, and should we consume any of them?
So the big distinction is it's not so much that the oils themselves, if pressed correctly, the problem is that the oils, it's how they're pressed that's making them toxic to the body. So current methods of pressing oils, there's what's called cold pressing, and that's pressing at about 130 degrees. That's if you go down and buy a bottle of... That's called cold pressed, yeah. So
yeah, 130 degrees. Just take a bath in 130 degrees and tell me that's cold, right? that's lying. They're lying. They're lying to us.
Well, yeah, whatever. There's always these legal semantics and how things are done. But that's if you go to expeller pressed, it goes up to 210 degrees. So Expeller pressed is the majority of the way oils are produced. If you went down to a typical grocery store, commercial grocery store, non-health food store, and you bought a bottle of, Wesson oil or something like that, or some kind of vegetable oil that's just on the store shelves with a clear bottle and room temperature and all that stuff, that oil has been expeller pressed. It's been highly damaged. And by damaged, I mean, in the same way I've spoken in the past about amino acids, the building blocks of protein, have to retain the shape that nature gave them to be used in our bodies to create new protein in our body. So you've got this geometric shape to amino acids, and the same thing with fatty acids. So fatty acids have a particular shape that nature gave them. If by mechanical pressure of grinding these seeds through a corkscrew metal press process, that mechanical pressure structurally damages the molecular structure of the oils, oxidizes the oils, you end up with an oil that's going to be very ineffective and inefficient at delivering the benefits that nature gave it. So there's a man that I met recently who named Andreas Wecker. Andreas Wecker is a famous national hero in Germany for his Olympic gold medal feats, winning the gold medal in 1996 in gymnastics on the high bar. He did, 22 years of 6 hours a day gymnastics training for being always ready to compete and win medals for the country. He was also, and anybody that practices to that degree, develops such a high degree of inflammation that they're in chronic pain due to not giving their body enough time to repair and rest in between each of their sessions of exercise. So he was taking ibuprofen like all the athletes do. They take some form of anti-inflammatory. That drug and others he took for all those years, and ended up destroying his, you could say, capillary system because of how these things interfere. Anti-inflammatories interfere dramatically with protein synthesis, so capillaries become very fragile. You start to bleed. You can bleed internally. So he developed Crohn's disease, where his entire intestinal tract was like bleeding. He lost 80% of his blood, almost died, and was in the hospital for 7 weeks taking drugs and getting no better. Overheard the doctors say, we don't know what to do for him, and so he decided to just check himself out. And when he did, a friend of his that picked him up or met him shortly thereafter after he got out of the hospital introduced him to this fresh-pressed flax oil that he'd made homemade, and he was an engineer, and I guess it was his own press, and this flax oil started to reduce the inflammation in his body, started to give his health back, and in 3 months, he was so reduced in his inflammation, pain so reduced, and health so much restored from just this fresh-pressed flax oil that he got off of all 9 of his medications. So then he took his knowledge, Andreas took his knowledge from a family. He grew up in a family of engineers. His father, his grandfather were engineers, so he's around this kind of in his blood. So he engineered a new way to press seed oils where he's pressing them at only 100 degrees. They're not ground, they're just pressed, so there's no structural damage to the oils. There's no oxidation, and you end up storing, and also you don't want to filter oils, because when you filter oils, that also takes the valuable properties out of the oils, and you don't get the full benefit. So he stores them in Myron glass, which is a dark black, or it's a dark violet that looks like a black bottle that protects them from light. And so these oils are so pristine and so alive and so functional that they can be stored at room temperature on a shelf for 2 years and be tested, and they have 0.01% oxidation, which is virtually 0%. And so he started to take these oils that he pressed for himself, and he added, in addition to the flax, he started to add another oil, which is coriander. And the coriander, in combination with the flax oil, cured him of the remainder of his Crohn's symptoms and his candida overgrowth in his body. So he then, he's been sharing these oils. He's moved to the States years ago. He's been making them and selling them privately, and then he's gotten more well-known of late because these keep on producing results that are astounding in terms of changes in people's health that is like miraculous, because no one is consuming enough essential fatty acids, omega-3, omega-6, from seed oils in their undamaged, unoxidized state. Virtually everyone in the United States, 99% of the population, is deficient in this stuff, and so people aren't absorbing oxygen in an optimal manner. So that it's just like the carburetor of a car. If your cell doesn't absorb enough oxygen, then you're going to get very poor combustion of glucose into energy. So if you look at the carburetor of a car analogy, you have that optimum ratio of gas, vapor to oxygen, and then the spark for the combustion. If that's done correctly, people have gotten 200 miles or more to a gallon just from, and then virtually little to no exhaust as a result of proper combustion. So same thing with the cell. When you have deficiency of oxygen within the cell, rather than converting a molecule of glucose into all the energy it can create. That one molecule of glucose can create 38 units of ATP, but because of this deficiency of oxygen, rather than get that maximum conversion, your body starts to produce less than that. It could be 20 units of ATP, 15 units, 10 units. When it gets down to a tumor cell is so inefficient at creating energy that it makes only 2 units of ATP for every molecule of glucose and a very large amount of lactic acid. So this is a big deal because we live in a culture that's got, the statistics are that 3 in 5 people or 2 in 3 people or whatever get cancer at some point in their lives. And the primary reason for cancer occurrence is that people are unable to get oxygen into the cell, so the cell makes energy with oxygen. When a cell is deficient in the EFAs, the structurally intact, unoxidized EFAs, if it's deficient in them, then that cell is going to have a difficult time absorbing optimal levels of oxygen, which is going to lead to a cell that eventually becomes a cell that makes energy without oxygen, which is a tumor cell. So this is a big, big, big game-changing supplement because no one else in the industry presses oils like this. So these oils, we've got flax oil, we've got coriander, we've got sunflower, we've got pumpkin, we've got black sesame, and black cumin. And they've all got each unique individual properties that are like phenomenal what they're doing. Like the flax is the foundation oil because it's the highest in omega-3. That's the most efficient oil in people's bodies. Taking that is going to help you to regain that oxygenation throughout your whole body, help you with inflammation. Then there's the sunflower. That's really good for the skin. We have a case history of a woman that took the sunflower who had severe acne. Her acne was gone in 2 weeks after taking this sunflower oil. You can literally take sunflower oil and put it on topically, and it's been proven to actually regrow the skin protein, the keratin skin proteins, and regrow the fatty layer under the skin. I recommend taking it internally because you can see your skin plump up and become more youthful just from that. And then you've got the coriander, which is like antifungal. It's also been proven to raise glutathione levels. Just taking coriander seed oil, it's got a pleasant, spicy taste. Then you've got the black cumin seed oil, which is really popular. That one's really powerful because it's got a chemical in it called thymoquinone, which has been studied extensively for its anti-cancer properties. So people take that for protecting themselves from cancer. There's the energy properties that it gives people. You take a tablespoon of this stuff at night, you might not sleep. I don't sleep if I take it at night, so I don't take it at night. It also helps people to burn body fat. People have taken the black cumin seed oil, and they just like maybe skip a meal and just do the black cumin seed oil and water, and they start to have like more thermogenesis of just naturally burning fat off the body easily, and get more chiseled in their features. Then you've got black sesame seed oil, which has been proven. Sesame seed oil has been shown to lower blood pressure. Chinese medicine recommends black sesame seed for the kidneys. And then you've got pumpkin, and pumpkin's really good for the man's prostate gland. It's got naturally occurring zinc. It's got all the oils that the prostate needs. We have a case history of a 91-year-old man with prostate problems, getting up 10 times a night to urinate. He got on the pumpkin seed oil. 2 months later, he was only getting up 1 time a night to urinate. People up in Oregon where the man lives. Andreas lives in Oregon where he presses these oils, and he has a couple of people in his vicinity. One lady had like a severe constipation, and she was actually going to have her colon resectioned and have a part of it removed because literally part of her colon was rotting. And she got on these oils 3 weeks prior to the surgery, and prior to the surgery, they did a colonoscopy to examine how her colon had, if anything had changed, and her colon was totally healthy after 3 weeks on these oils. They didn't need to do surgery anymore. Another person had colitis and was going to get a colostomy, literally colon removed, and had a bag put on, and this person got on these oils, and in 4 months, their intestinal tract was healed and no more problems and off their medications. So you don't hear those kinds of results with typical cold-pressed seed oils that you can go down to the health food store and buy. I've bought these seed oils for years, both personally and also to resell the various ones that are commercially available on the market. Never notice anything. I just take it as an insurance policy. First day I took these oils, within 3 hours, my body was going, wow, I want to lift weights. I want to do push-ups. I don't normally feel like that. So this was like immediately causing my body to have a higher level of oxygenation. So despite this problem with low oxygen levels in our environment, that optimally, you talked about this earlier, if you look at the statistics or the science on this, they'll say that icebergs, little pockets of air in icebergs show that the air back 5,000 years ago was 38% oxygen. and now it's gone down to, like you said, 17 to 11%.
Hey, Stephen, may I ask how old you are?
55.
Stephen, I'm looking at a picture of you on the internet. You know, I know what you look like last time I saw you. You don't look 55. Is that because of your supplements that you've been taking?
Yeah,
all these years?
I think it's just because I've taken better care of myself. I mean, I think I look pretty bad compared to what I could look like, but you've just been through a lot.
Hold that thought.
Physically, so.
Hold that thought. Class, hold that thought. I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
This is a warning to all household pests, to all cockroaches, spiders, ants, rodents, and other pests. If you've just made yourself at home in someone else's home, you'd better hope the owners never hear about Terminix, because Terminix has the know-how and the means to do whatever it takes to remove you from that home. Terminix has over 85 years of experience exterminating invaders like you. And right now, they're making it easier than ever for homes to be protected by offering a free pest estimate to every caller at 1-800-676-1468. Cockroaches, spiders, ants, rodents, and other pests. This is your eviction notice. With one call, Terminix will remove you from the home you've invaded. If you think you can simply come back later, think again. Terminix will protect that home with a 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee, so you can never return. Warning, homeowners are calling Terminix right now for a free pest estimate at 1-800-676-1468. 1-800-676-1468.
Limitations apply. See plan for details.
This is David Cordani, CEO of Cigna. For more than 20 years, Cigna has worked with the March of Dimes to address premature births in the U.S. Premature births cause horrible suffering and cost billions of dollars each year. That's why Cigna is committed to raising funds and awareness through our employees, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies. Please join us in supporting the March for Babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Kiss your credit card debt goodbye. I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and myself want to show you how to achieve financial peace, creating an extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
Attention backpackers, on a budget, why spend $80 to $300 to pump clean survival water? Introducing the Viva Water Pump Kit from Viva Outdoor Products. Super easy to use and super lightweight at only 6.5 ounces, the Viva Water Pump Kit provides high flow rate at 1 ounce per stroke, can be one-hand pumped, and is dependable and affordable at only $24.99, filter not included. Get your Viva Water Pump Kit at viba-odp.com from Viva Outdoor Products.
Class, I'll be at the RK Prepper Show this weekend in Huntsville, Alabama. And I'll be presenting 2 seminars. Matt Stein will be there. Craig Douglas will be there from USA Prepares. And Doc Wallach's team is going to be there as well. So if you'd like to see us, that's Huntsville, Alabama, Saturday and Sunday, July 16 and 17. RK Prepper Shows. Link on the website, usaprepares.com. And if any of you would like to have dinner with me, Craig Douglas, Matt Stein, and on Saturday, we'd love to do that, okay? Dutch treat. And Stephen Heuer's with us, Synergistic Nutrition. If you like their number, toll free, 888-988-3325. 888-988-3325. Website, sgnsgn80.com. Stephen Heuer, when I've gone to a doctor's office for an appointment with one of our family or my mom or our children, me, one of the things that they ask early on in the getting to know your patient session. So heart disease, cancer, history of your family, and why are they asking that? Is cancer genetic?
Yeah, it's the false belief that cancer is genetic. So, like I said, Otto Warburg proved the cause of cancer is the primary cause of cancer is the cell's inability to utilize oxygen. So there's various methods by which the cell becomes damaged. It could be toxins from your food, the lack of essential fatty acids in the diet, which is the most common. In fact, if you go back to Joanna Budwig built upon the work of Otto Warburg, and in the 1950s, she's a doctor and she's a biochemist. She was able to have a 90% success rate at helping people cure cancer, all getting them on a very clean diet and also giving them about 6 tablespoons a day of fresh pressed flax oil, not some sitting around for a long time, fresh pressed flax oil, in addition to the cottage cheese. So this was 90% effective. So when you look at all the evidence, the Gershon therapy, the Hoxie therapy, the work of Joanna Budwig, and these various people with high success rates with cancer, it has nothing to do with genetics. Can your genes become damaged because of radiation, drugs you've been given, something like that? Yes, and that makes the cell incapable of using oxygen, and all of a sudden it becomes a tumor cell. But it ain't because of your genetics that you get cancer. It's because of the assaults to your genetics, and that's the real reason. So, people need to be aware that they can create a body healthy enough to go their whole lives without cancer or be more protected from it, because we live in such toxic times that you can be assaulted with all kinds of stuff like these chemtrails and, unknowingly, damage cells and create tumor cells. But, there's things you can do that, like for you, I hope you're taking the One World Way to help get your lung glutathione levels up so that you can protect your body and detox those chemtrails at a faster rate so they don't harm you in the future.
I am. Mrs. Finelli is, and that canister is right on the kitchen counter. Sometimes you put things away so they're less unsightly should you have visitors. We don't do that. We put it's right there. It's almost like it's a billboard on our counter to make sure that we absolutely positively do not miss taking that. And Mrs. Finelli loves the One World Way. And if you want to go to the website, it's oneworld.com. That'll take you to the same place that SGN80 will take you, and that's Stephen Heuer's company. Stephen, you've been actively interested and pursuing great nutrition for 25 plus years. I really appreciate what you're doing, and I look forward to you coming back again and again and again. And I'm not saying that idly; I really mean that. One question I hope we can get to answer before we end this broadcast hour. Cancer doesn't attack what organ?
The heart, the most oxygenated organ of the body. You never hear of heart cancer. And there's also a document. If people want to get the more thorough read on this, there's a document on our website. They can download it. It's called EFA, Cellular Oxygen, or Cell Membranes and Cancer, and it'll give you a more thorough, disclosure of all this.
Class, if there's one takeaway from this particular broadcast hour, I think you just heard it about the heart never gets cancer. And if you attribute that to the oxygen, then naturally you would follow through in making sure that you get plenty of oxygen. So let's consider following Stephen's plan. sgn80.com, sgn80.com, and phone number 888-988-3325. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go, hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. I'm Vincent Finelli, and this hour, America Again, 108 in the series. America Again, number 108. There's going to be about 30 of these broadcast hours in the series. David Zuniga is with us, AmericaAgain.net. Welcome, David.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, good morning. And you know what? I had a lot of fun on that national conference call with you last week. That was really a lot of fun. I'm sorry that I was unable to stay, for the Q&A after, but I was just unable to do that. But it was a great national conference call. And if someone wants to listen to us, how would you recommend they do that?
On the conference call?
Yes, to listen to that conference call that's archived. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just go to our website and click on LibertyCast, and then the whole list is there. All of my USA Prepares presentations are on there, and that podcast is on there by date. So all they have to do is look for the date, and they'll have the national call on there where you made some great points, and it was a good call. It was a very good call.
Well, I think I was on the verge of losing my temper describing some of the events that I've seen.
Yeah. It's easy to do. It's easy to do right now in this country. A lot of them for very good reason are losing their temper. I think all of us have seen it to some extent or another, where you get bad cops and they really have a strange, psychotic, really, attitude, And some of them are former military, and they come into this, and I don't think they're all there. And a lot of times I think the departments just have a really hard time with it. We're going to be talking, it's interesting because this chapter 3 of the book, we're going to be talking about that just a little bit here. So today's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Let me just share this. I mentioned it during hour number 1. I saw this video last night. There was a police car, and you could see through the windshield of the video from the police car. It's a video from the police car. And this is a recent event, and it was accelerating at a very high rate of speed, much faster than you would or I would be able to accelerate without being pulled over. So, but this police car could do it, and it decided to pull over a pickup truck. And the pickup truck looked like it waited for a safe place to pull over into a parking lot. The guy pulls over, and the cop is screaming at him, show me your hands, show me your hands, show me your hands, show me your hands. And the guy's got one hand out the window, show me your other hand. And, you really can't tell what's going on if you're in the truck because, you're in the truck, and these guys are screaming outside the truck at you. So two cops have their guns drawn on this guy. This is a traffic stop. They've got their guns. Yeah. And what happens is the guy finally gets out of the truck, kind of walks around, turns around a little bit, and the cops are yelling, show us your hands. So what do? Shoot him right in the chest. I believe it's a chest shot. And boom, down on the ground. Now he's down on the ground. Show us your hands, show us your hands. The guy just got shot, and I believe he was really, really in a lot of pain, having a tough time moving. So what does the cop do? Shoots him again. And then show us your hands, show us your hands. And he can't do that. So what does he do? Shoots him again. And it show us your hands. And what is that? Again, 4 times. They killed him. Now, how does a traffic stop get into an execution?
Yeah, that's going to be a big story. I saw that one yesterday as well. It's all over the internet. It was a white guy that got shot. It's happened to black guys plenty of times. And so, again, it is completely unconscionable. It is completely, it's psychotic. It's psychotic. So I wanted to say that, and I wanted to cover this, and I'm glad you brought up that video because it's all over the internet. These people are psychotic. So there's no, I am not at all trying to cover for psychotic cops. And there are plenty of them out there, but they are not the majority. They are not even a great plurality, among the law enforcement community. So we're going to talk about real law enforcement, constitutional law enforcement today, so that all of you that are listening, will have a different idea of what that term law enforcement means. It is not a negative thing. It is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So let's dig in. This is chapter 3 of my book, Fear of the People. And this is especially fitting today in light of, all kinds of current events. Islamic jihad, black jihad, all kinds of things that are eating away at our national psyche. We have to look at this stuff. Even before this, a year ago, for the last several years, with dozens of bankers committing suicide, billions of rounds of ammo being solicited by federal agencies, hollow point ammo, billions of rounds, thousands of armored MRAP vehicles. People have seen the videos all over. It's all over the internet for years now. MRAP vehicles being delivered to small town police departments all over America. Let's see, a U.S. Army manual that describes, talks about internment camps, and they are internment camps. It's Army Field Manual FM 3-39.40. If you look that up, if you just Google U.S. Army Field Manual F like Foxtrot, M like Mike, 3-39.40, you'll get it. And it's called Internment and Resettlement Operations. And it's kind of frightening. You read it, and it's not frightening, but it's chilling. You look at it, and you say, wow. Now, I want to give everybody a context today for all of this stuff. Okay, the bigger content, you've got to cool your jets. You've got to back off a minute and say, okay, let's see. We've got all this, billions of rounds of ammo, not all of it delivered yet, but, ordered by federal government agencies from, NOAA, the National Weather, all kinds of weird people that have no business buying all this ammo. All these MRAP vehicles, this internment camp manual for how to handle Americans in a big camp. But then there's some other things. There's Jade Helm 15 that was done in seven states last year. And our state, I live in Texas, so California and Texas were included. What else? Germany demanding its gold back. It's 374 tons of gold stored in the U.S. in Fed depositories. So far, it's gotten less than 10% of it back. Just a lot of things happening here. So what's going on with all of this? And that's what I unpack in this chapter. Here's what's going on. Earth's largest, longest-running financial crime is busting. It's nearing collapse. And it can't go on forever, So America, again, plans to train and equip and organize you, we the people, anyone who's willing to stand up and do real law enforcement. We're planning to do this so that we keep the cartels from rising up even stronger after the collapse, because that's what they did after the first Great Depression. The bad guys, the people with all the power, what we call the elites, they just gained that much more power and property during and after the Great Depression. They're not going to do that this time. So Congress has been operating a counterfeiting operation since 1862, 154 years now. And for 103 of those years, it's been outsourcing that crime to the Fed cartel. We've already talked about that. But no counterfeiting scheme is going to go on forever. Sooner or later, and right now it's happening all over the world. The Chinese, all of the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and many others beyond the BRICS nations are saying, you know what, these U.S. dollars, we don't want them anymore. We're going to start dealing multilaterally, you and I directly. If I have a deal to cut between India and Argentina, I'm going to cut it directly. I'm not going to use U.S. dollar. So this is happening all over the world, and the U.S. dollar, all of these trillions of U.S. dollars that are floating around out there, they're not finding a new home. So we're starting to see the pressure on the dollar. It's going to get much, much, much worse. But the other half of this, of that crime, the actual dollars out there in the world, is this fractional reserve scam that Congress has been running with all the banks, allowing banks to trade keystrokes, air for real labor and property and assets and stuff from borrowers. And bankers have been doing this for, goodness, over 150 years. And Congress is the one that authorizes it. So Congress has been involved in this huge counterfeiting, and the other side that's not even counterfeiting, fractional reserve banking is just fraud. It's just straight out financial fraud. You say, give me your, car, your house, your land, your stuff that you need to buy, and yeah, I'll make you this quote unquote loan. All you're making is keystrokes. You're not doing a thing. You're putting nothing on the table, and the borrower's putting everything on the table. So this has been going on so long. Plus, then Congress staffed federal regulatory agencies with former banking personnel. It's a circular, it's just a merry-go-round here. Whatever federal regulatory people come in, they're all from the banking industry. So all of this stuff is collapsing now. They're getting busted. It's going boom. Now, if we the people said, okay, we want to fix this. We want to just cold turkey. We want to return to lawful U.S. money. We want to return to ethical, lawful banking, moral banking. If we tried to just do that, it would trigger the most devastating deflationary crash in history. We can't do that way. But the crash is on the way anyway. It's coming.
There's no question in my mind that it's coming, and class, I can't imagine a single one of you in this broadcast classroom today thinking that everything's going to be okay and there's no crash coming. It's impossible. Not if you've been paying attention in class. David Zuniga is with us, AmericaAgain.net. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
The investment world isn't fair. A precious metals trader buys gold and silver at spot price. You pay his price plus fees, costs, and shipping. But today, you don't. Today, JM Bullion offers a 10-ounce bar of pure silver at spot price. No fees, no markups, no shipping. Invest in something real, not Wall Street paper. 10 ounces of silver at spot price. Visit realpricesilver.com for this limited time offer. One per household, 50 United States only. realpricesilver.com.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Class, David Zuniga is with us. AmericaAgain.net. AmericaAgain.net. And if you go to usaprepares.com, page number 1, you'll get a chance to download for free the publication for the people. Absolutely free. There's a link right there, and there's a link to AmericaAgain.net, the website. David, I just did a quick calculation. Homeland Security has at least 5.3 rounds per person in the United States. They've got 5.3 rounds of ammunition to kill every man, woman, and child in the United States. That's just the Homeland Security people. Then there's the U.S. Postal Service. The IRS has spent $11 million on guns, ammo, and military-style equipment. Then you have Fish and Wildlife. The Department of Veterans Affairs spent $12 million. They bought night vision, body armor, guns, and ammo. And then you have the EPA. They've got guns and ammo. And then you have the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. What they buy? Shotguns, .308 caliber rifles, explosives, night vision, propane cannons. And who else? Well, who else is armed? Well, that would be the Small Business Administration, the Social Security Administration, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Education Department, the Energy Department, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I just wanted to share that with the class to let you know that this is pretty serious. It looks like the Marines are outgunned by the agencies. If you add up the weapons that the agencies have, they have more than the Marines. It's frightening. It's alarming. And
well, it should be instructive. And the reason I say that is that we have a duty. All of us have a duty in this country. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15 we establish for ourselves a duty. It's the only place in the Constitution we do that, where we give ourselves a duty, not the government that works for us, but ourselves. So every town in these United States should have an operational, trained, armed, properly, ready militia. It's the law. Go read the Constitution. It's there. It's always been there. So what the heck is wrong with us? So we should be doing it. Here's my point, and this is the way I look at it, Vincent. If Jade Helm, let's say Jade Helm 15 was a training session for a Great Depression II scenario. They figured, well, it's coming down, we better train. If you start looking at the societal collapse, breakdown that would follow the complete failure of this whole Fed scam, which you and I agree, it's coming. Okay, so now think it through. Actually think the thing through, Vincent. It's going to be bizarre war everywhere, and it's not war. It's just complete mayhem. Now, what does Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15 say? What do we stipulate there? We stipulate that Congress will make provision for the militias. That means for every town, the men of every town properly armed and trained to, quote, execute the laws of the Union, comma, suppress insurrections, that's what we're talking about here, comma, and repel invasions. That's national defense. That's our job. Now, you talk to the average person, I don't care how armed he is, I don't care how angry he is at what government is doing or not doing or doing wrong, and all of this stuff is bizarre. The stuff you're talking about, I mean, you get all of these agencies that have no business existing, much less having arms. It's absurd, right? It's like we're living in a nightmare. This is totally absurd. You know what's more absurd? We don't have our town militias. The men of America are not standing up and just getting her done. So that's why that's the only reason that I really support Oath Keepers like I do, because they're at least getting it done. They're not doing it the way I would do it, but they're getting it done. They're trying. But we must do much, much more. And it's our job. If we're not doing it, look, the other side is doing it. Right?
Yep. We'll be right back. David Zuniga, AmericaAgain.net.
DarkCityDefense.com was born in Black Mountain, at the foot of the Black Mountain Range in North Carolina. From the Dark City, as it's affectionately been named, we've built an online firearms pro store that boasts a vast range of firearms, optics, and outdoor supplies. With aggressively low everyday pricing and a free gift pack with every firearms purchase, DarkCityDefense.com is committed to Tier 1 customer service and overcoming darkness by turning on the light of liberty. Find the light in our logo and find out more at DarkCityDefense.com. Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of the lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
108 in the series. There'll be about 30 one-hour broadcasts. This is number 8. We're calling it 108 in the series. David Zuniga, Congress has an approval rating of 11% or less. And when I talk, I've heard numbers as low as 4%. When I talk to people, they'll come up to me, people I don't even know, people I haven't even met, the moment before. And the conversation will come up, they can't wait for AR2, American Revolution number 2. They are looking forward to a revolution. They have no idea how horrible that's going to be if we have that. These protests are nothing. I mean, they've only brought out, they've only brought out maybe sound cannons and water cannons and tear gas and OC gas and bean bags. And by the way, you get hit with one of these bean bags, like it's a shotgun. It's a shotgun shell that has all the pellets in a bag. So don't think it's beans. These things are a bag full of pellets. So instead of getting hit with multiple pellets in multiple places, you get hit with all the pellets in one place. And if you don't think you're going to be coughing up blood when they hit you in the chest, you're mistaken. They've got that. And of course, they've got their AR-15s, and they've got semi-automatics, and they've got fully automatics, and they've got shotguns, and plus their handguns and the handcuffs and the tasers. I mean, that's what they're using now. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to, let's add in the drones. Let's add in the rocket launchers. I mean, we are the tanks, the MRAPs. Wow. This is
okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get through to you, though, Vincent, is the other side of this.
Oh, I agree.
If you look at this, if you're looking at this from something is going to come anyway. It's coming, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, when you have a complete, you're going to have shortages of all kinds, maybe even power and water, because a lot of things on the grid depend on people paying bills. If nobody can pay bills, some of the generators go offline. Some of the things don't happen that should happen as far as distribution, and it gets ugly fast. Things get westerned. They're going to. It's going to happen. So, like you said, it's nothing compared to these Black Lives Matters and things. This is nothing compared to what we'll see. Now, what I'm saying is law enforcement comes down to the American people. If you look at our highest law, the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15, we give ourselves, we stipulate that we ourselves, we the people in militia, will take care of business. That's it's going to come down to, because even if you take all of the agencies, all those illegal agencies you mentioned to me a while ago, in the average neighborhood, none of those people are anywhere. They don't appear. There's not enough of them. Doesn't matter. There's not enough of them. Who's going to take care of business? Who's going to maintain order? Is one neighbor going to start shooting at the other because he doesn't know who's who at night? And again, you always have to figure night's going to be the worst time, because it's when everybody's freaked out. Everybody's, back against the wall, back against the door. Who's in the neighborhood? Who am I going to shoot? It's going to be absurd. Now, what my point is, the militia, ever since colonial times, the militia was the mechanism that our founding fathers designed, and it's pre-constitutional, and it's also post-constitutional. In other words, it's what we have in our law. So why don't we have militia in every town? Why not? That's my question. Why, all the people that are complaining and talking about revolution, why aren't you joining Oath Keepers and starting a community preparedness team? Now, I'm not in any way affiliated with Oath Keepers. I am not a member. I don't even like the head of Oath Keepers. I think he's a jerk. But I like that group. I like a lot of the people in that group have worked extremely hard to bring, I think, the best model there is in the country today for getting this thing started from where we are, which is a standing start. The men of this country have to get serious, and a lot of the women, too, that know how, I live in Texas, right here where I'm sitting in Texas. Women used to fight off Indians, every week because When the guys weren't home, the women would take care of business. So men or women, the people that care about this country should be working on restoring the militias of the several states, and that means every town. If you're not doing that, if you're not at least thinking about that, especially if you're one of those idiots that's arguing about it or scared of it, scared of the very word militia, or thinking that it's somehow revolutionary or wrong, that is the law enforcement established in the U.S. Constitution. Read it. So, of all the things that are law enforcement, this is what I wanted you to take away today. We're going to cover I'm going to try to cover a lot more stuff here, but you've got to realize the highest law enforcement in this country is the people themselves. Either the people are going to freak out and start shooting one another and going bonkers, in which case you're going to have these idiots working for illegal federal agencies trying to do it, or you're going to have people getting her done, getting organized by town. Now, there's a lot of people that write about this. There's a lot of people that are working on this. The 3 percenters have been working on this for a long time. But Oath Keepers, I think, is still the best one around. They're not perfect, like I say, and I don't like the fact that they start with law enforcement people and say, oh, well, you're a full member. But if you're not LEO or a veteran, you're just an associate member. I don't like that about Oath Keepers. They've got it completely backwards. But still, they're doing something. They've got people learning ham radio and shortwave. They've got people dealing with everything from explosives to intel to everything. They're getting her done. If you haven't joined Oath Keepers or don't know of an Oath Keepers CPT, community preparedness team near you, get online and find one. Start one. Now, the one world elites, they're looking at all of this, and they've got to be smiling or laughing or whatever. It's kind of like the Obamas. The Obamas, ever since college, both of them, they've looked forward to these days. They've looked forward to this. They've wanted Marxism. They've wanted a breakdown of this system so they could have their Marxist American dream ever since college, both of them. They and the one world elites, they love this stuff. They love seeing us run around like chickens with our heads cut off, everybody fighting with everybody else. Folks, we need to maintain our sanity. Think of the big picture. Think like the elites do for a couple of days, okay? Just back away from all the heat and all the excitement. Keep your tactical and strategic focus. Read my book, please. It's free. Go to usaprepares.com, page 1. The book is there, Fear the People. Just download it. It doesn't cost you anything. After a financial collapse, I'm telling you, we the people can arrest DC organized crime for the first time. This is our perfect opportunity. All bets are going to be off, folks. It's going to be mayhem. But if we have our tactical and strategic focus, we can come out of this better than we've been in 150 years. So, we're not facing civil war. We're not facing revolution. We're facing mayhem and a massive law enforcement challenge. Who is law enforcement in this country under the Constitution? The militia. Who is the militia? You and me, and everyone that wants to take up the right side of the law when things get wild. So when the counterfeiting and fractional reserve crimes collapse that have been going on, guys, this has been going on for 150 years. Don't freak out. We need to have our state criminal courts be ready to apply penal sanctions. We hold them to it. Or else their puppeteers are going to have Congress just return to their life of crime, just like they did after the first Great Depression. We're not going to let them do it this time. You have to join us, folks. You've got to join. Now, think locally, okay? Every community has to maintain local order while we the people restore lawful money, lawful banking, and civil government, right? All of these things that Vincent mentioned and a whole lot more, agencies and departments, they're illegal. They shouldn't exist. These people shouldn't have jobs with government. None of this should exist. That's what America, again, is going after. That's what our 22 reform laws are. We're going to go take back everything they've taken from us. But folks, you got to do this tactically. The first thing we have to do is we have to get Congress out of that town. Bring them home with us. Split them up into 6,400 pieces where we surround them. And then we start filling those offices ourselves. See how that works? We don't only serve in our local militia, we serve in Congress. We don't move to Washington, D.C. We serve in Congress from our hometown. That's the future of American self-government. That's what America, again, is headed for. That's what we want you to see. If you see this, we don't have to repeat history. We can learn its lessons. And you can learn the Constitution and economics and tactics and stuff. So you band together. We all do this town by town, repentantly and diligently. We'll see the best time in over 150 years of our history. I know that's hard to believe, but you've got to read the book. We spent 8 years putting this together. We spent well over 25,000 hours putting this together as a team. We have one law in there called the Lawful U.S. Money and Banking Act. It was essentially written by Edwin Vieira, who is a very, very well-known, he's written a 1,700-page, 2-volume book on the U.S. dollar, the entire history, legislative and constitutional history of the U.S. dollar. And the Lawful U.S. Money and Banking Act, we can enact that immediately after the crash. All bets will be off. That'll be the time to push it. That'll be when it will pass. So this is what I cover in Chapter 3 of the book. If we just have 500,000 or 1 million sane citizens taking principled action, we will start the healthiest period in American history. This is law enforcement. You and I have to do it.
David Zuniga, AmericaAgain.net, and if you want to download a free copy of the book, just go to usaprepares.com, page 1, you'll see the link, and you can go to AmericaAgain.net, and you can download the book right from usaprepares.com, page 1. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Today, how to incorporate your business in just 10 minutes so you won't lose everything if you get sued. Step 1, stop putting it off. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business tomorrow, it's not just your business at risk. You can lose everything: your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2, call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-941-5257. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. so you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-941-5257. Step 3, congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings. And that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-941-5257. That's 1-800-941-5257.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
To a professional trader in precious metals, the key is spot price. Spot price is market price, what gold or silver actually costs on the exchange. Regular people looking to invest never get spot price because resellers add fees for everything: refining, minting, brokerage costs, commissions. The public is never offered spot price until now. In a limited new customer outreach, JM Bullion offers you the chance to own a 10-ounce bar of pure silver at spot price. No fees, commissions, markups, not even a shipping cost. Now, through JM Bullion, own the most real investment of all at real cost. Not a piece of paper from Wall Street or a bank. A 10-ounce bar of silver at spot price. That's a solid investment. But you must act now. Go online to realpricesilver.com for this limited time offer. That's realpricesilver.com. realpricesilver.com. Limit one offer per household, 50 United States only.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, November Sports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
Class, this weekend I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama. That'd be Saturday and Sunday, July 16 and 17. That's this weekend. And I'm going to be teaching a seminar. It's in two parts, part 1 and part 2. Start your own business and save an enormous amount of money. I would think that if you come to this seminar, you will easily be able to save $10,000. Easily. And it's a mindset. I'm going to teach you how to think, how to plan. And believe it or not, it probably won't cost you anything to save all that money. All you have to do is follow some rules. You're going to have to do a little bit of reading, and you will be grinning from ear to ear. I guarantee it. You're going to grin from ear to ear when you find out how much money you can save just by planning what you buy. It's incredible. I think you'll be delighted. And I've done something that the RK Prepper shows have not authorized me to do. And I said, if you don't think that you've gotten your money back, money's worth just by coming to my seminar, ask them for a refund. And I've said that and without authorization. But I think you'll be surprised at what you're going to learn at this Prepper show. And you can learn the basics of body armor. You can learn food storage, home invasion planning. Matt Stein will be there. He'll be talking about what to do if disaster strikes, and EMP and solar flare survival. Joe Fisher will be there. Craig Douglas, Jeremy Bailey. And these are our friends. So we look forward to seeing you. And if you'd like to have dinner with us, we'd love to do that on Saturday. So RK Prepper Show, Huntsville, Alabama, this weekend. Link on the website, usaprepares.com, page 1. America Again, 108 with David Zuniga. David?
Well, I want to shift gears a little bit, Vincent. Cover one last idea out of Chapter 3. We can't cover everything in Chapter 3 of the book today, so I recommend the book to you. download it and read it for yourself. I go into how we will restore gold and silver money as required by law, and the fact that, yes, there is enough gold and silver to do so. But I just want to cover one more issue, and it's a very unpopular one. I get in trouble a lot of times when I talk about this. I still think it's vital. If you look at Congress' current $165 trillion plus in unfunded liabilities, that's kind of like their credit card bill that they have run. Who actually ran up that bill? Where did all that money go? It's kind of like the old Soviet Union. You know, you've got millions and millions of retired Americans, and some of them not retired, that are demanding stuff from Washington, D.C., and so obviously it forces Washington, D.C. to keep skimming all of America's payroll accounts, every check, to pay them back, to pay these people back the Social Security and the Medicare and other funds that the bureaucrats skimmed from their payroll checks, right? So you think, well, that's only fair, right? Well, I say no, and here's why. Imagine a ring of thieves is committing bold daylight robberies in town, all over your town. And last week, they ripped you off, took everything of value in your home. And you're so depressed, you decide to stay home from work for a few days. You don't even have a place to sit because they stole the couch. They stole everything of value, all your firearms, your precious metals, your electronics, your everything. And you notice that day when you're sitting around at home moping, you look out the window and you see the same thieves going in and out of your neighbor's front door and hauling off all of his stuff. How would you like to go and take all of that out of their van and say, well, I'm entitled to it. It's just like the stuff they stole from me. They took the exact same stuff from me, so I'm going to take my share of this. Would that be right? Would that be proper? That's not our money. That's not your money. Your money was stolen a long time ago. That's the money of younger folks that are being looted today. So that's a big part of the issue today. We have to deal with it.
David Zuniga, I look forward to being with you next Friday, hour number 2 for AmericaAgain.net 109. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in Huntsville. Want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
The investment world isn't fair. A precious metals trader buys gold and silver at spot price. You pay his price plus fees, costs, and shipping. But today, you don't. Today, JM Bullion offers a 10-ounce bar of pure silver at spot price. No fees, no markups, no shipping. Invest in something real, not Wall Street paper. 10 ounces of silver at spot price. Visit realpricesilver.com for this limited time offer. One per household, 50 United States only. realpricesilver.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.